Yes, it's saying live, so that's good. So, hello everybody.
Hello everyone. I don't think it's quite 12 o'clock yet, but
No.
oh my god, if anyone's there so far, hi. Oh yes, hello.
Hello. Well, at long last, we're so pleased to be here because last week we had a few problems with lots of thunderstorms. I think I said that and then it went off again, so careful what we talk about today. Anyway, it's so lovely to reconnect.
Yes, okay.
But I'll hand it over. I'm Barbara and this is Flavia.
Yeah, hi. Oh my
Hi.
gosh, thank you so much for joining us live on the just a little bit. There's been so much Wi-Fi, and any of you that are magical, which I'm sure you all have a bit of problems when you're magical with
electrics, computers. How many of you out there things? We're just going to keep talking because middle of nowhere, so with us getting Wi-Fi and everything, it's always fun and games. So please, thanks for all the hearts already, thanks for just being there, and as I say, thank you again for last week and bearing with us. So over to you, Flavia.
No, I just want to say hi to all of you coming in, just seeing people from Australia and from London, Canada, hi.
Hello.
We just want to say, hi Angela, we just want to say thank you so much, those of you who are on like Eastern time, hi from Florida, because it's so mega early for you.
I know.
And I'm so sorry, we hadn't realised, had we? So really, honestly, top marks for you.
Oh, Florida, hello from Florida. I haven't got my glasses on, so.
Texas!
Texas, so.
Anyway, so brilliant.
Yes.
Do forgive us with the Wi-Fi, I know a lot of, there was a bit of problems, but.
So if it's a bit intermittent, as it goes through.
Hi from Japan. Hi, Joe.
Oh,
You're
wow.
on.
Hello, Joe. Hello, everybody. For all of those that don't know about us, we'd like to introduce ourselves, who we are and what we do. So I'm going to pass it over to Flavia a little bit and just talk about things, and then we're going to do readings today, and we're going to share with you, because this is actually all about you.
Hi, Violet.
Hello, this is about you, and what we are about is empowering people and helping you to use life purpose and your dreams. So I'm going to while I talk a little bit about what I do.
Some people are just coming through. Introduce ourselves to you, which we'd really love to, and forgive us please for the
solar flare. It's all the solar flares at the moment and everything else, and everybody is having Wi-Fi connections. So
this downtime in a way. It hasn't been downtime for us, has it? We've still been working on magic, and I hope that you all have as well. So as Barbara said, we're Barbara and Flavia, and we've worked together for 10 years on the circuit. We're on the Mind Body Spirit circuit and also on the pagan circuit as well, and the festivals, and our role is to empower people through magic. We've both got a wealth of experience, having worked magic since we were children, and we've just got so much knowledge that we'd love to share with you, and we are going to be sharing that with you throughout this whole series. We're on for quite a few weeks, manifesting, bringing about magic and spell casting. So it's like brilliant to see all of you who really feel that magic,
and it's so important. And it's what we're going to be talking about, as Flavia was saying, is about empowerment, empowering yourselves, bringing that manifestation, bringing what lives within you. As children, we never got that chance for a lot of us. You know, myself and Flavia were lucky. I grew up in the Highlands of Scotland, you can probably gather by the accent, and I was really lucky because I met Swain MacDonald, the Highland seer, when I was 13 years old, and he recognised the gifts that I had. Now, how many of us want that? How many of us in our magical work want somebody to look at us and go, wow, you have that magic within you, you're amazing, you're incredible. But did we actually get that? Did we get empowerment as children? No, we didn't for a lot of us. So when I was working with Swain, he encouraged me, and having been dyslexic, Flavia helped me out of dyslexia, but having been dyslexic, I was searching for people to teach me, and the way that I learn is oral traditional. I traveled all over the world. I worked in America a lot. I did Sundance. I worked with Ed McGaw Eagleman. I traveled all over the world. Why was I doing that? Because I was searching for the magic of the old ways, what Flavia's going to talk about later on. And so it's in there, and everywhere I went, people would say to me, you know, I get there and I stand there and go, yes, yes, yes. And they go, but it's inside you. And I go, oh, you'd already know. And for years I travelled all over the place, and each time I climb mountains, meet a magical teacher, I spend weeks sometimes travelling to meet these amazing men and women in the Himalayas and many other places. I get there and I'd sit there with an empty bowl, and they go, your bowl's already full up. And of course I didn't know, because I had to go in. And that's what happens to a lot of us. So many of us have to go within and connect. How many of you feel that? How many of you feel that people don't listen to you, or people don't acknowledge you, people don't empower you, especially with everything? And this is so important as we go into this new normal, or whatever everyone's calling it, that the most important thing of all is going within.
Yeah, it really is, because thank you, that was so beautiful. Because, you know, when, like, if you go to church, whatever, we're always like thinking, oh, please, angels come to me, or please, spirit come to me, God, or Jesus, or whatever it is. Or whoever you're aligned to. But what the teachings haven't been about is actually to go within, really deeply within. It's in here. It's really in here. I know that you've probably heard that by so many, but it's the absolute truth. Yeah. And deep within, you just travel. The other day I just took a sip of water and I just followed the trickle down my throat, and suddenly I found myself at my heart center, and as I really looked with my mind's eye, I suddenly saw this very old and ancient temple altar to the goddess, and I always felt like a sadness in me, and then I suddenly saw it was a dripping tap within, so I just turned the tap off, and that sadness just went. And so now I visit that temple, and I clean it, and I lay flowers in my mind's eye. And do you know what? That is just such an amazing tip to empower yourself, because when you can feel that energy in you, that's when you rise. And that's what our work is about, to help people, help you become really empowered. You know how the ancients taught, know thyself? And that's what our work is about, so you really feel that empowerment and you have that confidence. And we're going to be talking, obviously, through this whole series about magic, the magic of the old ways, and also spellcasting. And when you become a real, truly magical spellcaster, in the end, you don't even need ingredients or anything, do you? You know, I mean, you probably cast spells without even realizing how many times do you like make wishes and then they just come true like that. How are your manifestation skills?
And we're going to be talking about that. And I always remember I was out in South America many years ago, and I was with a lot of shaman, and there was all the apprentices, and I was sitting next to the elderly shaman. He was just sitting there very, very quietly, and all the shaman waving their feathers and doing all the things that they do. And I turned around to this elderly shaman, and I said, what do you do? And he just looked at me, he said, I've done it. And that was it. And I got it in that second. As Flavia was talking about, you know, as you think, so it is. And we're going to be sharing with you, first of all, today is about how do you empower yourself? How do you bring that manifestation? And one of the things that Flavia and I have we've both experienced everything there is to experience apart from having children.
Yeah,
but
that's one thing we haven't experienced.
No. And if cats pop in today, we have a couple of cats, so they do come in and say hello, and that would be great as well. But what happens is that through childhood, I was talking about earlier on, is about the empowerment. So spellcasting, we're seeing everybody up there. Spellcasting is about spelling, it's about casting, it's about manifestation, and it's not difficult at all. And we're going to guide you through the next couple of weeks.
Oh my God, it's really exciting. It's quite a few weeks actually, isn't it?
It is quite a few weeks.
So by the end of, I think it's about 4 or 5 weeks, so by the end of that you'll all be amazing spellcasters, being able to whip up anything, any of your desires with a click of a finger.
Yeah, so it's lovely to see so many of you. So Norway, hello from
yeah,
Norway.
that's Ragnar and Mel.
No, it's just
so amazing, and I'm sure there's a lot of you as well. Yeah, in America on Eastern time with your coffees going. Oh, sorry about the timing. So Barbara's just introduced herself to you. I like to introduce myself, and very much like Barbara, from the very start, I just loved magic. I was brought up in the middle of woods, and so I was out always at sunrise as a child, looking for fairies, playing amongst the trees, leaving treats out for the nature spirits, and I really worked magically in that way. And it was my father actually who taught me how to meditate by trees of power, and together we'd marvel at the seasons and just at nature. I mean, how many of you feel that you were born with like a real pagan heart, when you just feel magic just by walking through the woods? You know, that just absolutely gets us, and it's the magic of the old ways that we absolutely, it's always been my mission to bring back the magic of the old ways. And when I met Barbara, I just couldn't believe it. I had been working for a good 10 years in the south of England. I was actually working with angels and fairies, doing workshops and meditation groups, and so much. And actually I was in Glastonbury. It was during the Glastonbury Goddess Conference, wasn't it? And I was actually there with Karen Kay. I don't know if you know Karen Kay, the fairy lady. I was actually with her, and suddenly she saw Barbara across the road. I didn't actually know Barbara, so she called to her, and Barbara came along, and instantly we just knew each other. We just knew each other, and we've been working with each other ever since, haven't we?
Yes.
On the circuit, empowering, just to bring back that magic, to open that heart, and everyone who feels that magic within, I know that you all do.
And we're so passionate about it. Those of you that know us, this is our life purpose. And as Flavia was saying, from small children, and I'm sure there's a lot of you out there as well, that we came into this world knowing and remembering. And then, of course, what happens, we grow up and we forget that. Now is this time with everything, you know, we've got so many planets in conjunction, there's so many things happening.
Yeah.
Not just on our beautiful planet, but in the universe that is bringing that manifestation.
Yeah.
This is the time, and this is the time to make manifest, realize your dreams.
Yes, it is.
It really is. And we're finding it. We think something, boom, it's done. And sometimes we go, oh my goodness me.
Yeah, I know. Do you remember in 2012 when there were so many workshops and we were all being told, this is it, everything's going to change. If you haven't got your stuff together, you're never going to pass through that eye of the needle. And 2012 sort of came and went, and the alignment of the stars, oh sorry, we're buffering there, they got it slightly wrong, and actually the stars are about 10 years out. So in effect, this year 2020 is 2012. It's everything we were expecting. And it's a place like, if you haven't sorted all your stuff out, everything will come up. So if you're in lockdown, you may find that all your frustrations come up, all your fears have come up, how you've been getting on. But if you have got it sorted out, you'll suddenly find that everything's coming to you, and all your desires will start coming to you. It's a very, very strange time. So we're here to help you through that.
Yes.
And especially with, I mean, I'm not sure if we're allowed to mention it, but I think we could.
Oh, I'm sure we can.
Our new spellcasting deck. It is absolutely very exciting for start. Very exciting. We're going to show you in a minute. But it's actually designed to highlight any issues within. And then, so for instance, you might wish for new beginnings. You might then shuffle a card, and something like forgiveness might come up instead, or clarity. And so these cards actually tell you what you need to do first before you can move on.
Yeah, it's just absolutely
We're just
incredible.
really excited. Yeah.
We are. We're so excited to share this with you. And Flavia's just going to show you the booklets and everything.
Oh yes, I am.
The way it's done, and what we love about it is that, and I'm sure a lot of you, we've been doing spells for years. I mean, Flavia as a child, wait for this, in the playground.
Oh
yes. Tell them what you used to do.
Look, I have just loved magic all my life, and in the playground. I don't know if you ever had it painted on your playground, or whatever you call it. And it was, we had a spiral painted on a playground. Did you have one? Oh my gosh, that was amazing. So I got all the other children to follow me, and I'd walk around going round the circle. They'd all follow me, and then we'd still be chanting Om, and then I would choose, not really, but choose the child that would be sacrificed. and we would just play at magic, and it's the same. I always played witches in the woods. Who else played witches in the woods?
Yeah, how many of you out there
that played
as a child
in the woods?
were out in the woods, were out in nature, were using your incredible imagination, you know.
Making potions.
Yes, because that is the key to the universe. Albert Einstein said that, and it's so true that imagination, I remember as a child being told, oh, don't be so stupid, don't trust your imagination, and I'm sure a lot of you had that as well. And that's the first thing we want to say to you. Your imagination is the key to the universe, the key to spellcasting, the key to everything, and about self-belief, self-worth. It's kind of like a plumbing. When we go to spirit, if we have things within us like shame or guilt or fear, it's Frank's Fool's Crow once said, become a hollow bone. And this wonderful native chief was really true in his words, because he meant to be that channel to spirit. Now, if you've got shame or guilt or fear, we're both working mediums. And the one thing that when we're teaching people to do mediumship and do psychic abilities is the belief. They get in this, I can't, or it's not possible, or oh my gosh, how many of you had that? Because each and every one of you that are working with the cards and do work with Oracle or Tarot, there's always that. And for years and years and years, I started mediumship when I was 15 years old. I was stuck on platform by swaying. That was at 15 to be put in front of the eye, and I have to say, I'm 63 and I still before, and when we go on, Flavia is an amazing psychic artist, when we go on to do mediumship with Dems, then what happens is I'm always pacing up and down, and I always remember my parachute instructor once saying to me, if you get too blasé about things, forget it. And that again is another great teaching. So we're just sharing things with you about our lives and how we feel, and just who we are as people.
I've just noticed quite a few of you have been putting about that you made mud pies, and some of you are still making potions and lotions, which is amazing.
Fantastic.
I used to do that with mud pies as well. I used to like get gravel and mud and mix it around for the fairies. Don't think they liked it much. But
and I used to get all sticks and build houses in the woods. How many of you did that? So you're all magical beings.
Yeah,
and that's what we love about it, and that's what we want to share with
thank
you.
Lisa, so you.
Thank you, Lisa. You are gorgeous. I can just see it.
I have to say, all these comments are amazing. Thank you so much, Ollie, for joining us.
Yes.
It's really, do you know what? This is just so exciting for us. Just to be here, to meet you all. We've not done this before here.
No.
But yeah, absolutely great. So thanks so much for joining us. Our cats have just run past me, knocking lights over.
Both our cats have come in now, and they're going. You might get, we have a black cat called Anubis, and we have a beautiful, she's half feral, she's known as Kit Kits, or her real name is Sekhmet, and they're absolutely nutty like us, which is great.
Who are you calling nutty? She's calling us nutty.
Weird. We're just being ourselves.
Oh, someone's just saying they made mud pies. Sorry, darling, didn't get your name. Kathy made mud pies, but didn't know why. So you were being drawn to make them, because you know what? The spirits, all of nature has spirits. You have the nature spirits, they're the fairies. You always have the land spirits who are guiding and watching over the land. And our ancestors, people in ancient times, always left an offering for nature. How many of you still do that because it is so important? You know, when you look at all these like sacred sites and anywhere in nature, you know, the most sacred places are those that have actually been completely honoured. So I love that you're still leaving things out for nature and for fairies, and that's where that actually comes from. It's to appease the spirits, because actually they were here before we were. Yes, absolutely. And that's the magic about the power of place and land. It's about honouring the ancestors, you know, where we walk, what we do. And so what we've created in the spellcasting deck is not just readings, and we're going to be doing some readings in a little while. Yeah, so think of some questions.
Think of questions. Yeah, absolutely. Think of what you'd like to ask us, because this is about a sharing. It's about a connection with all of you who are there. And I just want to, I'm just visualizing now that all of us who are connecting together in a big circle, hugging one another, reaching out energetically. We might be socially distancing, but we've got great energy fields. We have an aura which we can expand.
All of us.
We can do an aura hug. So
Yeah.
just for a second,
Well, let's do that now.
Yeah, let's do that now.
Just like allow that. Just imagine, like, just put your feet on the ground and just imagine a beautiful light just coming down through your crown chakra and just feel it emanating out of your heart center. And just feel that we're just sending it out to you. We're feeling it coming back to us, and just imagine we're just all completely hugging in a big.
You're not alone, even though you might be in a house by yourself. You're not. Your energy field. Call to the ancestors. Call to your grandparents. All of those who've gone to the Summerlands, because they're waiting for you to ask them for help. And all you have to do is just say, whoever it may be, you know, grandmother, close to you in the world of spirit, just imagine them putting their arms around you now and connecting with you. And we're going to be doing that in a little minute as we start doing some readings and connecting with you and just being as one, because we are all one. There is no separation.
No, exactly. So should we have a look?
Yes. I've got the cards over here.
I know, but I just like to do, I know many of you. Hi from Sydney.
Hello.
Oh, hi Janet. Gosh, so many of you come to join us.
Thank you.
We're just so grateful. It's just wonderful, isn't it?
We do our work. You empower us to do our work. You empower us and with your energy and that love that
you actually are inspiration.
You are.
Just
thank you. Thank you.
So what we're going to share with you now, I know many of you have seen it. I already pre-ordered, but oh, I don't know if you can see that well. Look,
I'll get out of the way.
We are just so blessed and so excited to bring out this deck, which is, I don't know if you can see it very well because the lighting's quite glary, isn't it? But it says Spellcasting, and never before has there been an oracle deck on Spellcasting ever. Within this deck, it has all the tools, all the ingredients, and all the optimum phases to be able to make your magic as powerfully as you can make it in a most safe and easy way. And we've literally chosen our favourite spells, haven't we?
Yes, we have.
And they're like connected with the ancient ways, the old ways, but suitable for this modern day. So that's how we've done it, you know. And of course in there's loads and loads of guidance, but you know what, we're very, very excited about the artwork as well, because it is stunning.
Do you want to show that? And then,
let's have a look.
And then what we're going to do, once we've shown you a bit of the artwork, we're going to see who's writing to us with questions in about, let's say about 3 or 4 minutes. Just start asking your questions and we'll try and answer as many of you as we
will.
can.
And I think it'd be really nice to pull one for the whole group as well.
Definitely.
And then we can really connect to the cards and just bring that energy to you as well. So, so I'm just gonna, first of all, I don't know if you can see that very well.
Ah, there you go.
Look at that, how magical is that?
And I just want to say, the pentagram is about earth, air, fire, water and spirit. It represents the elements.
And it's about
really
protection.
important.
So we've got spirit, earth, air, fire and water. You know, our ancestors connected to the forest, to the ocean, you know, to the winds and fire, always sat around a fire. And so it was really important for them, this symbol. It's completely ancient as well, and it's an ancient symbol of protection. And unfortunately it has been abused over the years, but it is the most sacred symbol you have. Someone's just said it reminds them of the chalice well door. I agree.
Yes.
I was wondering
Wow, that's right.
So what they mean by that is that the chalice well at Glastonbury, one of our favourites.
Where we met. We met there. We met in Glastonbury.
Yeah, an ancient portal. It takes you through to the other world. I just love it so much. And someone's getting lots of sparkles. Thank you. I'm feeling really sparkly today.
Yes, really.
Someone's just asked where you can get these from. They're on pre-order. They're out 7th of July, aren't they? I think worldwide.
On Amazon.
And
Amazon. Just Google Amazon, wherever you are. I noticed it's in India, in America, in Australia, in Brazil.
Everywhere.
It's incredible, and just to be spreading. It's
my gosh! Can you imagine if everyone just became amazing spellcasters?
Oh.
Can you imagine if everyone just felt the magic of the old ways? what the world would be like. It would just be gorgeous, wouldn't it?
Would.
Yeah, and so magical.
Incredible.
So that's our mission, and thank you for joining us and wanting that as well. So we're just going to show you a bit of the artwork, because this is from Lisbeth. Oh, she's just such an amazing artist.
Oh, incredible artist.
She's actually on Instagram as She Who Is. I love that. That's so empowering, isn't it? But we pulled a card this morning, and we pulled separately just to see, for today. And look what we all wished. Good luck.
Good luck.
From our big fat cat. And we have got a big black cat called Anubis. Thank you, Melissa. Yes, we believe it is a slaying deck.
It is.
I'm sorry if you can't see this very well, but look at that. Psychic abilities. So you can do a spell to enhance your psychic abilities, to bring about compassion.
And over the next coming weeks, we're going to show you that every single one of you are amazing and can do readings as well.
Yes, exactly.
Because the problem is, and we'll explain about it in other filming that we're going to be doing, how easy it is to connect with spirit, the ancestors, the angels, all the ascended masters. We just want to share this with you, and you can tell we're just really excited about this day.
Very, very excited, and that's the truth of it.
That is the truth of it.
It really is exciting. Question?
Yeah. So now we'd like you to just do some questions, and
should we do a reading for the whole?
We'll do a reading for the whole group of us at the moment, yes, and then we'll do individual readings. How does that sound?
Okay. Shall I pull that then, or would you like to?
No, you pull that one.
Okay, I'll just give it a good shuffle. I'm shuffling cards.
And again, there's no right way or wrong way of shuffling cards, and if they jump out at you, I love that one.
I love this one as well. Oh my gosh, the one that's just like literally leapt into my hand is travel. And look at that. If you actually look at the beautiful lady, she's got a staff, which is an ancient tool for walking across the land, connecting with the spirits. She's looking at a new moon, and she looks as if she could be pregnant. And so that all tells us about new beginnings are happening. However, you can actually work with that yourself, because here we've got. Are you trying to look at it?
Trying to see what's on the screen.
Oh, here it is. So you've all been in lockdown. We've all been in lockdown. But how many of you have actually travelled within? How many of you have travelled with your desires to the goal that you want to reach? How many of you have been looking outside of yourself for something to do? This travel card is about you actually working towards your next goal, and it's so important. But I'm actually feeling that this card is for your spirit and your soul to travel to where it's meant to be. The time is now. The time is now for you. It's not a playground anymore. It really is time for you to actually grab your destiny by the hand. You may not know what that is, but this travel card encourages your soul to explore all the possibilities that are out there for you, and just try not to allow. Sorry, we're buffering a bit. If your dream is to reach for the stars, then go for it. This is literally giving you permission to explore all your options. Do you want to add anything on that one? I just think it's absolutely stunning. It's about beautiful. That magic. And it's about travelling to that magic.
And also another place we actually can travel to, and we do a lot of, but a lot of people don't remember it when they wake up, is the dream time. Because there we have endless possibilities. And if you learn about how to manifest also your dreams, manifest things, you might be worried about something, you go to bed at night, you ask and implicate the spirits, and then in the morning, a lot of the times you wake up or you get images from your dream time. So it's really important when you're traveling, it's astral travel, there's many other ways of traveling, not just getting on an airplane.
No, it isn't. I've just noticed Joe's asked a question. She's just asked if things are going to go fine and what's her path in her actual work at the moment. And that just leapt out. Sorry, Barbara.
No,
I
just go for it.
That transformation. The butterfly came out for transformation. Again, the butterfly is all about traveling with your soul. It's all about that soul work, isn't it? with a butterfly, it's about a metamorphosis. So this is telling me that everything is going to change for you, but for the better. And like the butterfly, you're going to just allow your wings to completely spread and fly. Butterflies, I think they just go to what they feel is a path, and everything that you're doing is being absolutely guided. So transformation isn't far away. So you're on the right path, lovely. So please keep going. And I tell you a little tip, because sometimes we forget to do this: enjoy every part of the journey. It's just so important. Oh, I'm very excited.
Yes.
For you.
Flavia, can you look at the screen and find somebody who would like the cards done? Because I can't. I can't. I've got my glasses on. And I put my glasses on and I couldn't see the screen either. So who'd like to ask me a question now?
Sarah wants to know about her house move, please.
Sarah, okay, Sarah. So
Sorry
we're
if
looking
I've
at this
missed some of
house
you.
move. I feel that, gosh, this is a long time coming. I'm actually getting goosebumps. And goosebumps, when you get goosebumps, the reason that we call them truth tingles is because spirit is impressing on our nervous system, and this is giving a reaction. And like my arm is actually, I'm all gone goosey. So I'm really excited, Sarah, for you. So let's draw a card, because I feel, as I said before, this is a long time coming, and now it's time. Right, here's the card. Flavia, do you just want to hold that up? The card is trust. And what I feel with you, Sarah, is very much that it's not so much your trust, it's other people's trust. And I feel it's like somebody is holding you back from your dream. This is your dream. This is where you want to be. Ideally, I want to get you out in nature, on the land, all of those things. But I feel that somebody or something is holding you back, and you have to break free from that. So the trust is in manifestation, the trust is in empowerment. And I feel as a little girl that you've got your nan in the spirit world on your mum's side, and she's saying to me that, listen, it's all, you put all your eggs in one basket, and it's time to just say, no, I'm going to do it my way. This is my dream. This is my visualization, and I'm going to follow it. And Flavia's going to read.
Yeah, so I think that'd be really amazing, because I think trust is something that we could all learn to do or deal with at the moment. And so what I'd like to do, I'm just going to hold the card, and if you just zone into the energy of out the spell that we have in our deck of cards for trust. And so just imagine that you're actually doing the spell, because whenever we imagine anything, whenever we visualize something, it is actually seen in the spirit world. That's why we're always encouraged to do visualization meditation, do like positive statements, because we have to be careful for a start of what we see. Yeah, so what you're imagining, just know that someone else is watching.
Yeah.
But it's really powerful. So just doing it in your mind's eye. Let's do it. Let's do it. So this is trust. I don't know if you can see that properly.
There you go.
Just trust. Isn't it beautiful? Yeah, I think that's okay. Yeah, trust. So imagine that you're holding a crystal pendulum ready to use as you face the direction of west at dusk during a waxing crescent moon. This is the most powerful time for this spell. And then you just silently say, asking questions is a must. Pendulum shows whom to trust. Say a name, swing to the right. Confirms there's no need to fight. If it swings through to the left, the answer proves to be bereft. Place crystal on top of head, inviting clarity instead. Faith, belief, respect's a must. It's safe, finally, to firmly trust. And then just say, gratefully I accept the magic of you, of protection to assist in all that I do. Lend me the courage, build power in me, assist my transcendence, so mote it be.
And when you have that trust within, and it's not about trusting anyone else, it's about trusting yourself first and foremost. Do I trust myself to do this action? Do I trust myself to do this work, what is it within you when you go deep within? What is the aspect of trust within you that is not whole and complete? So Sarah, I wish you all the best on your house move. And what I've just been told is take rosemary, a sprig of rosemary, and place it in the garden with lavender, because I'm seeing the garden, I'm seeing lavender and rosemary. But rosemary, if you don't have a rosemary plant, get that, bring it in and ask the rosemary, because what we always teach, myself and Flavia, is about speaking to the plants, the crystals, because they will give you that information. They will give you that magic.
Yeah, and actually thinking about that as well, any one of you that's moving house, this absolutely works. If you get a piece of citrine, it's known as the merchant crystal, it's the wealth crystal. It's great to pop in your purse, but if you put a nice piece in the room that you mainly stay in, live in, so the living room, the front room, the lounge, whatever you call it, place that in the middle of the room and that will get your buyer. It worked for me like that.
Wonderful.
It did.
Yes,
No,
I know.
I couldn't get a buyer for ages. Pop that in. Lovely. So really, you know what? Just start, staying on this trust thing.
Yeah.
Trust what you're taught. Crystal is going to work with you, or a herb or something. You think, listen to anyone saying, oh, you shouldn't do that. Inside, we always say, don't we, that like inside your feelings are like your personal sat nav.
Yes.
Don't we?
And the problem is today that what's between the thinking and the feeling. And Eleanor Roosevelt said a really great saying, above all else, of your heart. And that is it. And we're taught to go into the left hemisphere, the mind. It's important to feel with your heart, trust your emotions and feelings. Well, I do.
It really is. What was that rhyme you made up that time?
Oh, yes. Get out of your
head.
Get out of your head, into your heart.
Now
then you'll know where to start. It's not the thinking, it's the feeling. It's the knowing and believing. Yeah, that's a witchy cackle. Well, I do another one.
Yeah,
Can you
let's
just
do another one.
let's see who else is there for me? Because as I say, Flavia, just have a look.
Oh, hi. Look, just woke up in the USA. We're so sorry that we're on so early for you.
Sorry.
But thanks for joining us. Okay, Jodie has been manifesting on her next perfect job. Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah.
Jodie, right, I'm going to zone in as well. You do
Yeah. Hello, Jodie. Boy, you're hard working. It's like you were born to work.
Yeah.
I just feel this drive and this push and this ambition. Okay, we're going. I'll draw one card. You should. We should have two cards, right? Oh, wow. So this is Spirit Guide. So when I was talking about this drive and this passion you have, I was very aware of you have somebody in the spirit world who's been the instigator of you driving forward. I get a gentleman, I'm feeling him really, really strongly, and I'm hearing him say, that's my girl. So I'm just feeling this push, this drive, this...
Are you feeling like motor cars or something around
Yes,
him? I'm really
I am.
seeing him standing next to this really nice car.
It's
An
just
old
amazing.
type of car.
But he's a gentleman. He's a real gentleman, and he's saying, you can do anything. You've been doing it since childhood. You were very much like, I know what I want, I'm going to go out and get it. And so this new job, it's not quite exactly what you wanted as a child, but I'm feeling it's next to, and then there's one more step and then you're there. But the answer to that is absolutely yes. I feel the motivation and intent you have is so powerful and so strong. There's just one little person hanging on your coattails, because I feel a little bit of jealousy. So it's like somebody you've just got to say, do you serve my highest purpose? And if they don't, then wish them well, but you need to do what you need to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've just seen someone else, and I can't remember your name, my lovely, but I saw that you're in teaching. You were just asking whether or not, which I'm just going to mix all this up now. There's so many. You wanted to ask if the teaching was the right job. I'm saying to you, yes, absolutely, but I pulled a card for you, and this is what I felt right as well, is that you do actually have psychic abilities, okay? But you're not quite, you really want these psychic abilities, you really do, and that's why you're wondering if you should be doing the job you're not, or whether you should be doing something like this, for instance. However, I'm just just really, really getting for you that you are in the perfect job. And you do have psychic abilities, and your spirit guides want to really, really develop that in you, because actually where you are going to change so many people's lives. You are like an undercover light worker, okay? But I know that you really shine. I can really feel it. So just completely just own what you're doing, and people are going to just absolutely be drawn to you. You know, like insects are to a light. Just be that shining light. It's so important what you're doing, and actually the world really, really needs you. So absolutely well done, and just really go forward in your power, knowing that that's where you're meant to be. Because I always feel that when you know where you're meant to be, that's when you can have your confidence. It's when you're always worrying if there's like a bit of self-doubt or thinking, oh, am I meant to be doing this? We find so many people coming up to us saying, what's my life purpose? I don't know what my life purpose is. And I completely get that, because it's really hard when you're not 100% sure, and you want to be the best that you can possibly be. You know what? Sometimes things are quite long. What's the word? It's long.
She's asking a dyslexic what the word is.
What I'm trying to say though, sometimes things don't just happen overnight, and I know we're very much in a world of having things just like that. But with like us, didn't we? We've worked for such a long time, so we've got very strong foundations, and that's just a message to all of you. Have those strong roots, have that strong foundations to really know what you're doing.
And as Flavia said, it's like the Great Pyramid. The reason it stood for so long is because of those foundations. But how many of us were given those foundations as children? We weren't. No, we had to find them. So a lot of us walked on rocky ground a lot of the time, and it very unsteady. And so it's so important. Now we've been talking about it for years. We're doing our shamanic work, grounding. And it's really important. Thank goodness now people can get back into nature. You know, if you can't, all I say to people is get a pot of earth, have your homeland earth with you. But the most important thing is get out on the earth and ground yourself in that woodlands, in the trees, on the grass, on the seashore, on the sand. It's really important. Will we do another one, will we?
Yeah.
Yes.
Lots of people wanting.
Wonderful. So let's have another one, and thank you all
oh
so
my gosh,
much.
And thank you, Joe. Just saying you can't wait to visit our shop. Thank you.
Oh yes, we have
We've
a
got
shop.
a magical shop. We're in what they call the northwest of England. We're just below Manchester, but in the hills, in a beautiful place called Buxton's Spa, where all the natural water comes from. So around the world, I think there are bottles of Buxton water out there.
Yes.
Anyway, that's where we are. We come from the goddess land, goddess Arnemisha. She's the goddess of the grove. She's the goddess of the spring water, and she's actually here from Buxton, and that's the name of our shop.
Yeah.
And we've just opened another little one, haven't we, opposite, called the Grove.
The Grove. So it's wonderful. And talking about the cards as well, because Flavia, if you could kindly look at somebody ask a question.
Yeah, Joyce needs guidance. She's very stressed. Everything just seems to be blocked at the moment for her.
As soon as you said Joyce I get, and it's interesting, your stress is caused by others, and I feel it's like you're juggling all these balls in the air, and it's very much you're trying to make sure everybody, you come from a family that are what we call people pleasers, like our mothers and our grandmothers always say, look after everybody else first, put yourself last, and I feel that's where you come from. And so you're stressed because of everybody else. If you were to take alone time, which you don't do very often because I know you're always busy and doing and thinking, but if you could just take some alone time, Joyce, just sit there, listen to music. It's not easy because what we call the monkey chatter mind just goes like, oh, what are you doing? This is crazy, and why are you meditating? Why are you reading cards and all the rest of it? But if you can just take that downtime, if you can just steady yourself and just get some sacred space to yourself. I'm just going to see what the card is. Oh my goodness, wow. No, wow, there you go. How's about that? That's freedom. Freedom
Can you see
cards.
that properly? Isn't that gorgeous? So you're just coming out of that cage there.
And it is a cage, Joyce, I feel you've been in. I feel that it's a cage that others have put around you, and others have lots of expectations for you.
Let's do the freedom spell.
And so I just feel it's time for that freedom, and Flavia's going to read. I'm going to hold up the card, everyone.
We all could do with freedom,
We
especially
could.
at the moment. So if you just all want to just
That's
Close,
it.
or just look at the card. Isn't it absolutely amazing? I'll just hold that there.
Yeah.
And just, if you need that freedom in your life, who doesn't? Just imagine that you are holding a feather during a full moon. And you look up and you say, soul doth stir from prison deep. Confinement is not to keep. Promise of mind and prisoner of actions. Relationships add to factions. Wishes made for liberation. Place in feather to awaken. Throw feather in air upon the breeze. Restriction now lifted with ease. Stars determine destiny. Yours now to claim for liberty. So throw the feather into the air. Just imagine that you're doing that. And then just say, gratefully I accept the magic of you, of protection to assist in all that I do. Lend me the courage, build power in me, assist my transcendence, so mote it be.
And that's the one thing that freedom, what is freedom about? When you, all of you, look at what freedom you have, are you free from other people's expectations? Can you look at freedom and go, I have no commitments, I have no responsibilities, I am free from everybody else's projections and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
Very few of us can actually say that we're free, that we can just go, you know what, today I'm going to do this, or today I'm going to do that, or we're not looking after other people, as we were talking about earlier. And that's what spellcasting is about. It's about freeing yourself from not just your own cage that others have built around you and also you put around yourself, but you're freeing yourself from the cage of society.
Yeah.
So come out of the closet now, as we would say. Come out of the closet and taste that freedom. Step onto the land, step onto the earth, and join us.
Yeah.
So how are we doing on time?
Right.
Have we got
Yes,
to do? Yes, fantastic.
Definitely. Oh my gosh, I did read one from Ruth and I couldn't even see it, so I'm so sorry. But you know what Barbara was saying as well, it's freeing yourself from that mind, and it is freeing yourself from the expectations of others. Oh my God, what if people think this? What if I'm doing that? And it's just, you know, when you're in that place, of course, always being mindful of others, but when you truly are in your power, it just is completely different. I know what it was, Ruth. Ruth said, what is she doing that's, sorry, just when I was talking, I just pulled out the empowerment card. There you go. That's what we were saying. Ruth, you said something about you seem to be blocking your gifts. Again, that's what Barbara was talking about earlier when she said about having to be that, you being that hollow bone. Once you get rid of those fears, once you get rid of the doubts and the worries, that's when spirit can get through. Because if you're always in that place thinking, oh my gosh, I really want to connect, I really want to be able to hear the answers, or you're listening too hard, it absolutely blocks, because it's like a fear that's coming in saying, I can't really do this. And of course, whatever we think, whatever we see, as we said before, spirit sees that. But in truth, we're absolutely all connected to the divine. We can all absolutely do this work, but society's been very clever at just throwing us those blocks. So it's about just clearing those blocks. You've been working through these cards. They're amazing at clearing blocks through this spell work, and actually starting to believe in yourself. That is just one of the biggest things, to actually believe in yourself. But it's hard, because when you're younger, that belief goes away. When I was younger, I was such a magical girl. I really was, and I was just so happy, and I love fairies and angels and anything like witchy, or all of it. But unfortunately, I grew up in quite a strict, later on when I was a teenager, my household became quite strict religious-wise, even though I'd had a magical time with my father when I was a child. And so suddenly we get told that, oh, well, that might be the devil making you say that or wish that, or that's not really how you're meant to be thinking or feeling. But you cannot ignore your feeling at all. And so it's about just completely trusting in that, and knowing that you're completely entitled, and it's your birthright to connect. So other than that, any other blocks, you may be very, very sensitive as well. And I'm really feeling that for you as well, Ruth. just be really careful of what you're actually putting into your body, because you're very sensitive. And so there's nothing wrong with having a little bit of everything that you fancy, but if you're like anyone, if you're drinking like loads of alcohol, for instance, or like shoving loads of chocolate and sugar in your mouth, oops,
Yeah.
but it can lower your vibration. And if you're really super sensitive, I'm so sensitive.
Yeah.
We did, and Barbara, she isn't as sensitive as me because she is an earth sign, so she's very grounded. So I'm very away with the fairies.
Yeah.
So I'm very meditation, connecting blood. Barbara's very earthy and she connects that way. It's really amazing. So we did a mediumship demo, didn't we? It was actually on a boat off the Quay of Bristol, wasn't
Yes,
it?
it was.
The Quay of Bristol. And beforehand, I always just like, I can't eat because I'm just there being the clear channel. Barbara's stuffing scones with jam and cream in her mouth beforehand, and she's saying, come on Flavia, just have some. And I said, I can't because I've got to do medium. She said, oh, that's rubbish, I've been eating stuff all my life. So what happens? I ate the scone. And what happened to my mediumship? It was okay, but it wasn't the best. And Barbara was just she was fantastic that night. And so I've really learned that, you know what, just trust your body, just trust what you can do. And if you on before mediumship,
and we're going to talk about
tell
that,
you so much
about the different signs and how you work with spirit.
Yeah.
We're going to show you an alternative way of working with our angels and our guides and everything
all the way through
in all our work.
Yeah.
And just, it's so wonderful to share. So we're going to do one more.
Okay, one more, because I'm just going to say this is our introduction. This is us to say welcome, thank you so much, and for us to introduce ourselves to you, and then we're literally I think we're on every week for about 5 weeks or something, so that's going to be brilliant fun with you all.
And just connecting with you all. It's amazing. So I'm going to do one more.
Then.
We'll do one more.
Okay,
so could you choose somebody that's
Vic is applying for a position right now.
Okay, Vicky. Whoa. I feel a bit of oh, again, here we are, empowerment. So that's good. You're applying for a position and the card empowerment's come up. So what I would suggest to when you go is really look at self-empowerment, especially self-worth, because I feel even though you've done really well, you've had a few knockbacks, disempowered you and taken away your personal power. So until this time when you go for this job, I want you to really focus on who am I? I'm not talking about the mask that's put on by society, but who am I? And I want you to put forward what I mean by authentic self is the real. You're a survivor, you're a fighter, you've been fighting all your life. So what I want you to do is just self-empower, know that that strength and that power is there. You've got support in your family, but I yourself, that self-empowerment really, really important to do so. And when we empower ourselves, we empower the world around us. When we manifest within ourselves, we manifest. All got the abilities, and guess where it lies? I'll just tell you a quick story as we're sort of finishing. There's an old story, an ancient story was told about the ancients all came together and they said, the humans are getting too clever, what will we do? And within the humans, because they will never know to look within. And that is our message to you. It's look within, the witch within, the wise, incredibly talented, creative healers that you all are, which is really, really important.
With the fairies, connect to the salamander, that empowerment. Should we just do a quick empowerment spell?
Yes,
okay,
definitely.
Wonderful. So I'm just going to hold that up. And again, let's all connect, if you can, to empowerment. How would you feel if you were the best version of yourself and you knew it? How would you feel as you met other people? How would you feel as you walked down the street or walked into work when you knew that you were the most powerful you could be? So just imagine that your arms are upstretched at noon. You face a red candle. And here you're going to connect with the salamanders. They're actually the nature spirits of fire. And so you say, salamanders, spirits of fire, bring me your courage and all I desire. Extinguish the dark that blacks out the light, so I light. Allow the fire to ravage. Be free. Empowerment stoked. for all to see. Flame ignited, feel it grow as you become the sacred glow. And now imagine just blowing out the candle and allowing the swirl of the smoke from the extinguished flame wrap around you as you say, gratefully I accept the magic of you, a protection to assist and lend me the courage, build power in me, assist my transcendence, so mote it be.
Beautiful, Flavia. Will we share some words, some songs with them just to finish off?
You know what? We've just done quite a lot of empowerment work today, and I think it'd be really cool to. Shall we sing Wise Women?
Yes.
Sing Wise Women. This is a song. Actually, Barbara introduced me to this song, but it's great. It's so simple, but it does really empower you, and you can just sing it anywhere. We're just going to do it a cappella, but sometimes we've got drums and we're drumming and just having a wild time. And men sing man, women sing women. That literally is, I am a wise woman, I am a strong woman, I am a healer, and my soul will never die. We're just going to sing it, and you might want to join in with us. And if you're a man, sing I am a strong man, and it goes like this.
I am a wise woman, I am a strong woman, I am a healer, my soul will never die.
Come on.
I am a wise woman, I am a strong woman, I am a wise woman, I am a strong woman, I am a wise woman, I am a strong woman, I am a I am a wise woman, I am a strong woman, I am a healer, my soul will never die.
I was going to come in with a harmony then, but it didn't quite work. You know what? Thank you so much, all of you, for joining us.
Yes,
all
you've been
from
amazing.
Around the world. It's just amazing. Thank you on the East Coast for all waking up early, especially. I hope you've got your coffee. Betty Jane.
Joanne and
all
everybody.
Of you. It's amazing. Good night in Australia.
We're sending.
We really are.
We're sending the love from our heart, from the essence from
David.
all of you. You're just all amazing. And remember, you are all wise men and wise women. You're all strong men and strong women. You are all healers of yourself. And guess what? Your soul will never die. So mote it be to each and every one of you.
And many blessings to you all. May we say to you, blessed be.
Blessed be.
And we'll see you next week.
Yes, see you next week.
Feel free to get in touch with us if you want to.
You can get in touch with us on Facebook under our names.
Yeah, or Instagram under our names.
Oh, Instagram. Yes, we're
anyway.
this new
Okay, so thank you. I'm sorry we've got to go, but thank you for joining us, and we love you, and thank you. Blessed be.
Blessed
Bye.
be. Take care. Take care. Hey.